Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You guys have truly helped me create something special for every fan of Descendants and Zombies, and for that I just simply want to say thank you so much. We have 3,450 subscribers having subscribed to this YouTube channel as of this morning, and nearly 90,000 channel views have happened, and it has everything to do with your love and support for Descendants and Zombies, making this unquestionably and truly undeniably the most popular Descendants and Zombies podcast in the world right now, and I have each and every one of you to thank because of that, because of your love and support, which has truly become undeniable and really unlike anything that I've ever had the chance to experience in my lifetime. More people know who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is. More people can relate to my voice having something to do, having been associated with the Descendants and Zombies franchises for what must feel like forever. Because I think everybody wants to know when Zombies 5 is going to happen. When is Zombies 5 coming out? When is Zombies 5 going to proceed with development? And I think this is a question that has forever remained unanswered, that deserves to be answered for fans of Descendants and Zombies who have forever remained dedicated with so much heart and so much dedication to franchises and superstars they love so much. I think that you guys have deserved answers to these questions for far long enough, and I really wish I had the answers to these questions, but one should know that Zombies 5 is going to happen. You don't really believe what the critics are trying to convince you is the truth about Descendants of Zombies now, do you? Because Descendants 5 at Wonderland has a date scheduled for sometime between now and July 2026. I don't think we've ever really cared when the date of release is going to happen for Descendants of Zombies. It's just everybody is so excited to find out what the next chapter is going to tell, what the story is really going to be about when it comes to characters like Victor and Nova, because we really don't know that much about them. So because we really don't know that much about them, that makes for a very unpredictable time to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and a more exciting and more intriguing time than perhaps ever before. I have loved to share with you my stories about what's made me and made me feel inspired to talk about Descendants of Zombies, and I've also loved hearing your stories in exchange about what made you a fan of Descendants of Zombies. So many people have obvious reasons for being fans of Descendants of Zombies, from the music to the powerful script to this undeniable story that we all fell in love with, and very quickly, mind you, about Victor and Nova, because we don't even know that much about them, but everybody felt as if they felt perfect together, and they almost instantly had an undeniable amount of chemistry that they really brought forth for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. So you think about Zombies 5 not going down until 2028, even if it doesn't go down until 2028, it's going to be a fun time for every fan of Descendants of Zombies. It's going to be a time where there are going to be more predictions made than ever before, because of course we have the unveiling of what could be inside of this vortex forthcoming. Could it be mermaids? Could it be pirates? Could it be witches? Could it be trolls, goblins, sirens, what have you inside of this vortex? Undeniably, I am the only guy on YouTube who has voluntarily offered to jump inside of this vortex to uncover its mystery. Even though it could be associated with doom or the end of time, I get that because I've had a greater appreciation for supernatural lore, and I think that the people who have a greater appreciation coming from supernatural lore should realize that Zombies is far from over. Their story is far from being told and completed. So because their story is far from being told and completed, I think we have a whole lot more to be excited about, especially when it comes to the future of Freya Sky. She is undeniably gorgeous. She still has a long way to go. She's really figuring out her place in the world. But I think that's what's so special and really intriguing to me about Freya Sky, is how quickly people fell in love with her, going back to her days on The Next Step and other projects that she had the chance to be a part of, both musically and as an actress. But I think Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, being her first ever movie, really allowed her the opportunity to become reintroduced to people that really didn't know that much about her, because I noticed a lot in the comments from videos that Freya Sky had thrown up, music videos, and this new release of her Silent Treatment single just a couple of days ago, back on December 2nd. There are some people out there who can't be credited to even knowing who Freya Sky is. They've never heard of this artist before, but when they found out about who Freya Sky was, they very quickly fell in love with her melody and how she was able to put lyrics to a melody, because very few artists can do it in an effective way, kind of like Freya Sky can. This is why I forever and always presented the argument of how she's the next Taylor Swift. And I say this because you think about her music and how beautiful her music is now. Think about how beautiful her music is going to be when she kind of breaks away from Disney and goes out on her own and independently produces her own music. It is going to be so fun. Now, I know it's forever and always been a constant struggle for people like Kylie Cantrell and Meg Donnelly to go out on their own and produce their own music independently. But when somebody really figures out their place in the independent music industry and produces their own album or EP independently, only magical things can happen. And I see 15, 20 years years from now even for Freya Sky, it's going to be something special, and we are all going to have the chance to be a part of something special in the relation to Freya Sky, because there is a reason why so many people love her so much. It has everything to do with her passion, her heart, and her dedication. Let's forget about how gorgeous she is, because undeniably she's gorgeous, but I think this has everything to do with the heart and dedication she brought forth with the Worlds Collide Tour. This gives me even more reason to believe that a leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour is going to be happening, and I think more people deserve to feel encouraged that a leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour is going to happen, given the profound success that we've seen from the previous Worlds Collide Tour, leg 1, touring parts of the United States, selling out over 43 arena dates. Every venue was basically sold out and got rave reviews because of the performance and the criteria of the performances of the cast, which really gave this one life and really made us feel as if we were a part of something special. And I got to tell you guys, from leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour, looking back on it, I would have loved the opportunity to have been in the crowd live and in person, and to got the opportunity to meet so many wonderful fans of Descendants of Zombies who feel the same way I do, or even more passionate about Descendants of Zombies. Because I give you my word, I would have been one of those guys, one of those exceptionally good guys who would have went to the Worlds Collide Tour and said nothing but nice things about it, and purposely uploaded videos and commentaries with nothing but nice things said about them, because I really do believe that your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars have been subjected to far too much criticism. So having said that they've been subjected to so much criticism, I think that more YouTube creators could go out of their way above the the original criteria, if you would, to say nothing but nice things about them, because that will offer creative incentive, that will offer creative direction, and that will make it a whole lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable for us to be fans of Descendants of Zombies, because I think we all have a reason why we felt intrigued by the Zombies franchise, because the Zombies franchise always had a reoccurring theme of acceptance. And how somebody was always struggling to find acceptance in an everyday world and an everyday existence. I mean, let's face facts. The reality of life is everybody struggles to find some form of acceptance, regardless of what you may or may not be going through. I think everybody struggles with this. An identity crisis, struggling to find acceptance, finding true love. But I think Zombies was the first franchise in a really long time to offer us encouragement that anything could really happen for us, and the possibilities were really limitless or really endless. And I think that more people believed in themselves after having seen Zombies for the first time, believed in these characters, believed in these defining moments that made us fans of Descendants of Zombies. And I, for one, believe that when we upload videos about Descendants of Zombies, we should go out of our way as YouTube creators and uploaders to encourage this fact. Because if we encourage this fact, and things like Zombies 5 is going to happen regardless of how critics may feel about Zombies 5 ever happening, I think that will give people hope for the foreseeable future. Because the reality of it is millions of fans of Zombies who are crazy about Zombies are excited about Zombies 5. They wouldn't be YouTubing if Zombies 5 is coming out, or if Zombies 5 is going to happen, or what's going to happen in Zombies 5 if they weren't excited about it. That's the reason why you're watching this video, because you're excited about Zombies 5 happening and you want the answers to more questions that you have, like what's inside of the Vortex, what the release window is suggesting, what Freya Sky and Malachi Burton's roles are going to be in the franchise as the new leads, because we remember when Zed and Addison were the leads of the Zombies franchise and how much they offered to the Zombies franchise. And this is exactly the reason why I can record hundreds of videos about Descendants of Zombies and have previously done it, because I feel very passionate about these characters and what they've offered to this franchise. Because we have seen so much happen for this franchise in such a short amount of time. And the contributions of Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim are never ever going to be forgotten. So be it that the contributions of Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim are never ever going to be forgotten, that should be celebrated. And that's all I've ever wanted to do in every video that I've ever uploaded on this YouTube channel, is celebrate how far we have come in the Descendants of Zombies franchises, but yet still how far we have yet to go in the Descendants of Zombies franchises. That's what I'm so excited to celebrate with each and every one of you. I've always appreciated having the opportunity to hear so many wonderful stories where people have felt inspired about the Descendants of Zombies franchises and where and how they have drawn inspiration from all these defining moments. Regardless if it was that very first moment that Zed and Addison opened up the production with the "This is going to be my year" dance number, really setting into motion what they were going to achieve for that forthcoming school year, eventually meeting each other in the zombie safe zone. That very first moment they met each other in the elevator, where Zed actually told Addison that if they didn't win a football, Zombies would never be accepted. That very first moment where Addison screwed up one of her cheerleading moves and Zed caught her in his arms. And at that moment, I really do believe that they really wanted to be with each other for the rest of their lives. And it may have taken 7 years. The beautiful thing about Zombies was, It may have taken 7 years for this to all come into fruition and become more of a reality than ever before, but when it finally did, and they shared that final kiss in that franchise, I think it meant a whole lot more to a whole lot more people than ever before, than ever given credit for. Because I think at these moments where Zed and Addison met each other for the first time and sang that song Someday, or Zed caught Addison in his arms when she did screw up the cheerleading move, or he realized that if zombies never won a football, they would never achieve acceptance. I think because of these moments, we were able to relate to Descendants of Zombies, and at these moments, we felt as if we were a part of something special. So off the introductions of these new cast members, I think we feel more certain than ever before that the futures of these franchises have been secured. The futures of these franchises have never been more evident than ever before, and I am really excited about it. I am really excited to see where we go from here, and I'm excited to record hundreds of more videos on Descendants of Zombies and to come along for the ride. Because I think that to upload one video about Descendants of Zombies, that's pretty lackluster. That really doesn't tell you a whole lot about me and how I feel about Descendants of Zombies, or me in general. I've always loved to talk about Descendants of Zombies, but I also like to let you guys know a great deal about me, what may be going on around me in my own life, like how we're experiencing a lot of snowfalls, and just last night we had another snowstorm, and my lawn is covered in snow. It is really beautiful outside. It looks like Aradale, and having the chance, one thing I've been very adamant about is having the chance to come home and spend the holidays with each and every one of you, because having the chance to come home and spend the holidays with each and every one of you is quite fun. And to be honest with each and every one of you, coming home to spend the holidays with each and every one of you was something I was looking forward to, because we would have more of a chance to talk about Descendants of Zombies. So be it that we had more of a chance offered up to us to talk about Descendants of Zombies, I was really excited to come home. I was excited to share with you my stories about how I drew inspiration from Descendants of Zombies right back from the very beginning. I was really excited to offer you predictions on Zombies 5, Descendants 5, Book of Wonderland, regardless of when it was going to be dropped. Because I really don't think anybody cares when it's going to drop. They just want to be some of the first amongst some of the first people to catch Descendants 5, Book of Wonderland and, see the new chapter. But I think the excitement and the hype that goes behind the build-up for Descendants 5, Book of Wonderland, that's what makes it so special. Because if this was just being looked at as a movie, like, say, I don't know, Hocus Pocus 2. I mean, Hocus Pocus 2 had a lot of hype, but was everybody really that excited about Hocus Pocus 2? I don't think so. You would really have to be a die-hard fan of Kenny Ortega and the original Hocus Pocus to watch it. Not everybody was a huge fan of Hocus Pocus. But you think about the hype of Descendants of Zombies in a comparison, and the hype of Descendants of Zombies is really off the charts. Everybody wants to see more of Descendants of Zombies, more behind-the-scenes footage. Everybody wants to be a part of something special when it comes to the music and the dropping of the music videos, because I can guarantee you that before Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland hits the screens, there is going to be a music video, kind of like what they did for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. Remember how Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, the Place to Be music video was dropped ever before the movie, and it made everybody so excited to check out the movie and wanting to be a part of it. I will never forget that summer when I was so excited to watch Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. I can't even begin to tell you how many slush puppies I drank in anticipation on that night of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. I didn't sit in front of my TV to watch Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires to critique it. I sat in front of my TV to watch Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, just like each and every one of you, to watch it from the perspective of a fan. Because in order to record a video about Descendants of Zombies, one not only has to live his or her life like a fan of Descendants of Zombies and like they're living the entire Zombies experience. They've really got to think about how the fan feels and what they get from the most of their emotions watching Descendants of Zombies. Because I think everybody feels close to something and feels really a part of something and really feels special for that brief moment. Regardless if it's an 80-minute movie, a 95-minute movie, an hour-long movie, however long the movie is, I think everybody has felt special and felt a part of something special. And that's what really Descendants of Zombies has become defined through. I have loved talking about Descendants of Zombies. I love sharing that story with you guys about how I wanted to move into a house near a soda plantation and a chemical plant and have the chance to make you guys feel as if you were part of something special. Hey, this guy is hosting a show and he might actually live in Seabrook. Unfortunately, I don't live in Seabrook, but I do live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant, and I find it really intriguing that I've actually had that chance presented to me to live in a house near a soda plantation and a chemical plant to talk about everything that may be related to Descendants of Zombies, because I can go on for hours and hours talking about Descendants of Zombies. It's only just after 9:35 a.m. this morning, if you can even believe that, and I've already got my second podcast for today uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, because there is never enough that can be said about these two franchises and how far they have come. And when I see these opportunities being presented to Kylie Cantrell and Meg Donnelly and Malia Baker to really perform, and perform at their best, like at the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade or the Walt Disney Christmas Day Parade, like I've seen many years over the years. I've been a huge fan of the Walt Disney Christmas Day Parade, and just a couple of days ago we celebrated Walt Disney's birthday. Happy birthday out of Walt Disney, by the way. He will never ever be forgotten for all these legendary characters having been created. And I gotta mention this too. I think if Walt Disney could tell us how he really felt about Descendants of Zombies, he would congratulate the writers and producers for really creating something special, because I think this is what Walt Disney meant for every one of his successful franchises to really become and really amount to, for the profound impact it's had on each and every one of our hearts. Because I got to tell you guys something, I have had so much fun being able to create so many wonderful videos where people have drawn inspiration from Descendants of Zombies. The desire to want to know how to draw Descendants characters, collect the dolls. I felt very passionate about dolls too, because I've always wanted to be either an action figure or a doll. Probably some of my action phrases would be included in a doll's voice box, where you would squeeze the doll's tummy, and some of the most popular radio quotes would be included as part of the, the 25 action phrases, like "Believe in yourself" or "Oh no!" Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. I think that would be the most popular Descendants doll of all time, the Descendants of Zombies doll. I think that would be flying off the merch shelves at the Worlds Collide Tour, and I think everybody would buy the Jonathan Clarke doll, because I've always wanted to be a doll. Because once you realize, the reason why I've always wanted to be a doll or to have my own action figures, once you realize that you are forever immortalized as a doll or an action figure, that's what makes life worth living. When you know you're such a huge inspiration, or you've come off as a huge inspiration to everybody that they draw inspiration from, kind of like how you guys love Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky so much. It has everything to do with how passionate you are about them. That's why I've always wanted to work with them. That's why I've always wanted to showcase them for their truest potential and just really have fun with talking about Descendants of Zombies. Because if you can't have fun with talking about whatever you're talking about, even if it's pro wrestling, because I've always believed wrestling is real, I think that no matter what you're having to talk about on your show, or having the chance to talk about and elaborate on and to really go in depth about, you should really have fun with it. And if a person has fun being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, that's what makes moments like these worth it every single time. So if you guys are watching my videos for perhaps the first time, hello everybody, my name is Jonathan Clarke, and I am one of the greatest fans of Descendants of Zombies who has ever lived. I feel very passionate about Descendants of Zombies, and I love discussing everything related to Descendants of Zombies with each and every one of you, because I've come to know and I've come to realize how passionate everybody feels about Descendants of Zombies. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you are somebody who is passionate about collecting Descendants of Zombies merch, the dolls like I have, the thing is, if you're very passionate about Descendants of Zombies, there is never anything wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and you should never be afraid to let the world know how you feel about Descendants of Zombies. Like millions of people have never been afraid to let everybody know how passionate they feel about Descendants of Zombies. You guys show it all the time in your YouTube channels and your YouTube videos, how passionate you are about Descendants of Zombies merch. This is wonderful, and it's a wonderful feeling that I wish I could experience time and time again. 3,000 plus subscribers is insane. I never ever thought 3,000 subscribers would happen with this YouTube channel, because I can remember a time when this YouTube channel had just 5 subscribers. I kid you not, 5 subscribers. And it went from 5 subscribers seeming to 1,000 overnight, 1,000 eventually became 1,500, 3,000, and so on. And we are here today because of each and every one of you, because of how passionate you felt about Descendants of Zombies. I've enjoyed this incredible journey, and I've loved being along for the ride, and that's why I can record so many wonderful videos where people have drawn inspiration from their favorite characters, and all these moments that truly have defined them for being fans of Descendants of Zombies. Guys, thank you so much from my heart to yours for allowing me to have been a part of something special for what's felt like forever for me. And I can honestly tell you guys, no matter where I go from here or whatever becomes of me, I will never forget the profound impact that Descendants of Zombies has gone on to have on my life. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to become a part of your lives. Thank you so much for allowing me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies. I got to do it one more time for everybody. The voice of Descendants and Zombies. Oh, yeah! I love that so much. You gotta include that as part of one of my 5 action phrases, or 15 action phrases from my doll for Descendants of Zombies. And I can't forget to mention that that would be the most popular Descendants of Zombies doll, I think, of all time. The Jonathan Clarke live-action doll with 25 action phrases based off his radio career and his career as a YouTuber. If you haven't figured it out, this is the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now for the obvious reasons, because we have so much fun, and I have so much fun recording all these wonderful videos about Descendants of Zombies, which people love so much. Having said that, I will return one final time between now and sunset tonight with one final video on Descendants of Zombies, because as of 7:30 this morning, I had uploaded my first podcast, so that was included as part of our daily lineup of videos for this YouTube channel. I look forward to joining you before sunset this evening, or just after sunset this evening, to talk once again about Descendants of Zombies, which I'm really excited about, because we have so much to get into and discuss about Descendants of Zombies, which is a conversation that I can only hope that you join me for, because you love Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs and its latest episode so much, and you love Descendants of Zombies. That's why you're here. That's why you keep clicking on my thumbnail. That's why you keep watching these videos, because you love Descendants of Zombies so much, and I couldn't be more honored to create so many wonderful videos for you guys about Descendants of Zombies, the franchises you've loved so much, and the franchises that undeniably have brought us that much closer together. Thank you so much for having watched this video and joining me. It's been my honor as always to discuss everything Descendants of Zombies related. I've had so much fun, and you guys love Descendants of Zombies so much, so these are moments that forever and always should be meant to be celebrated. Thank you so much for having watched this video.